Everything up until this point, was going great. You got your teeth in 24 hours, you're enjoying a new smile, this newfound confidence that you had. Take me back, though, to the first moment you started to notice that something didn't feel right, that something was going wrong.
Well, I was close to my 4-month mark. And at that appointment, you get, x-rays, you get checked. About 2 weeks before that appointment, things felt like everywhere was healing. And I could tell that, you know, my journey of healing was coming to an end. And then one morning, I was using my water flosser, and in the top left side of my mouth, I actually had 5 implants instead of 4 placed in the top. And that fifth implant, or fourth of 4 out of 5 implants, that fourth one or fifth one on the top left side, it shot some pain. And I'll say pain this time because it started to feel that morning like I had got an infected tooth. And it was concerning because I hadn't felt that through my healing journey before.
Hmm.
So I thought, well, maybe I just shot the water flosser too hard, or had it pressure up too high, and I maybe had shot it just at the right angle that it kind of sent, shivers down my spine a little bit. But then that night I noticed it happening again when I water flossed. And then I thought, well, I'll just give myself a day or two and maybe that'll go away. Because, during the healing process, there could be it's a roller coaster sometimes. Sometimes you have a little bit more discomfort one day than you do another day. It's just part of the healing process. I just wanted to eliminate that thought process. And by the second or third, I think it was about the third day, I believe it was the end of the week. No, yeah, it was like a Thursday. I think it was a Thursday. And I still noticed the pain the next morning
Oh,
when I was water flossing and cleaning. So I contacted Nubia, and I had told them of what I was experiencing. And I told them that I felt like, it was a little bit odd because all the other areas of my mouth weren't feeling that way when I was cleaning. So they said, you know what, Sean, let's get you in right away. Then very next day, they had an appointment set up for me. I went in, they took some x-rays. I spoke with a doctor, and that's when they discovered that, there was a situation that needed to be addressed.
wow. So, what was actually running through your mind, though? Like, whenever you were like, oh, I think something actually might be wrong? Like, were you, kind of panicked? Were you fearful? Were you like, oh my goodness, I'm going to regret this? Like, what was going through your mind?
Girl, I was so scared. I mean, I thought that it wasn't going to work for me. I thought, oh, great, my infections are just, overwhelming the situation, and it's not going to happen for me. Maybe it's just too good to be true, but it wasn't. Nuvia was able to pinpoint the situation and resolve the problem right away that same day that I went in.
Wow. Okay. So, called Nuvia. They had an appointment the next day for you. They figured out what was going on. What did they tell you happened?
They told me that out of the 5 implants that I had on top, one of them was not integrating with the bone successfully. But the doctors there, when I went in, they handled it the very same day. They made me feel confident that they were going to be able to fix it and resolve the issue. And you know what? I walked out with my teeth still in my mouth that same day.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, how did they address the problem? And was that part painful, or what were you kind of feeling sensation wise during this?
The real nitty gritty.
Yes.
They told me that the implant wasn't integrating with the bone properly, and there was some infection because it wouldn't integrate. So my body was trying to basically reject that one implant. My original doctor, Dr. Slovan, came in, and he had told me that they had done some x-rays and that they can possibly see some issues. He went to speak with a couple of the other doctors in the office. Another doctor came in and said, Sean, we're going to take care of this for you. Was it the most comfortable thing I've ever been through? No. But Nubia did make it so that I felt like what they were doing was the right thing. And it wasn't the most, like I say, it wasn't the most comfortable, but it wasn't the worst thing either, because I felt like I was being supported. It was over quickly, and he knew what he was doing, and he was very cautious and caring. And he made sure that he asked me if I was okay. The dental assistant was rubbing my shoulder the whole time. Like they really care. They really care that you're okay. And that made me feel secure and confident in what was going on. And I knew that they were there to take care of me properly. And it made me feel confident that I was doing the right thing and that I had done the right thing by letting them know what was going on. I mean, could you imagine what could have happened if I just went with it and didn't express my concern? That infection could have led to the other implants. Thank
Wow.
goodness that Nubia was, proficient enough and on point enough to take care of that issue, like basically as soon as I told them what was going on. But it wasn't overwhelming, and they really made me feel at ease and comfortable in that moment. And I think that if anybody were to have a failed implant, that Nubia is where you want to be to have it resolved.
Right, right. So they addressed the issue right away. Um, you know, did this cost you like extra, like from your original price, or what about that part of it?
Oh, no, and there was no extra charges at all. It was all covered under the warranty, of course, but no extra charges at all. They're just like, we're going to take care of this for you. Took care of it the same day and sent me home with my teeth still in my mouth. Doctor told me that even though they had to remove one of my implants, that the four that I still had on top was enough of a foundation that I could still go home with my teeth in my mouth that day.
Wow. Okay. Okay. And after that, did you experience much pain? Um, well, yeah. How did you, once it was removed, what did it feel like? Did you have pain the following days? When did that resolve?
I felt relief. Are you kidding me? It was like that infection was gone, that discomfort was no more. They had removed the problem. So no, it was absolutely fine. I took some Tylenol that day or the next day, and I didn't even hardly notice any disc. It wasn't like I was starting all over again. It was one little area. It wasn't bad. Didn't even have any swelling, no bruising, nothing. um and it just kind of healed up. They extended my healing process a little bit, but no, I healed up fine. And now 3.5 years later, and no issues since.
Wow. Okay. You went in, they addressed the problem. Immediately, you're like, all right, I feel much better. I can continue on. That's pretty incredible. And you didn't have to pay anything extra. You're saying it's all inclusive. Wow.
Who could ask for more? I mean, nowhere else did I ever think that you could go, hey, I'm having this issue. And then that very moment, they're like, let's address it, take care of it, get it resolved. And you won't have any more issues after that. I felt like it was a miracle, like they were there for me. No matter what the issue was, they were there for me. And they made me feel confident and comfortable. And they made me feel like, hey, I can trust Nubia because Nubia will take care of me no matter what. And just because I had, you know, a dental implant failed doesn't mean that I'm a failed dental implant patient. I'm still part of the success story. I still have implants after 3.5 years.
Yeah, you do. Look at you. Let's see that smile. Let's see that.
It's beautiful.
It is. It is. Well, before we kind of continue on here, I know people also might be curious. Well, what is the cost of this in the first place? So, would you suggest they go anywhere to find out more information on that?
Absolutely. If they're wondering about what this might cost them, they can simply download the link in the description below.
Well, Sean, let's move on. How do you feel about the experience overall? How do you feel how Nuvia handled it?
I'm very thankful that I chose Nubia because I feel that if this situation were to occur at a different dental implant location, that I might not have been cared for as well. I might have incurred additional charges because of the situation. And I just felt so supported and comforted and secure with the way that Nuvia handled this, that it really solidified my decision in choosing Nuvia altogether. And I would highly recommend Nuvia to anyone.
Wow. So, even after what you went through, you're like, yep, Nuvia is the place that you would recommend.
Absolutely.
Any
Abs-
regrets, Sean? Do you have any regrets doing this?
Zero.
That says a whole lot, honestly. Well, for those watching, don't forget to download that cost guide that Sean mentioned in the description below to find out what this could look like for you. And until next time,
Keep smiling.